Welcome back, and we're ready to begin in the third match of this team tie in the Junior Boys Team Semifinal between the World Champion Table Tennis Academy and the black shirts on the near side against Maryland Table Tennis Club, featuring Nathan Hsu and Tong Gong, now serving trailing 0-2. This is a must-win match for the Maryland Table Tennis Center, as they're trailing 2-0 in this best-of-5 team event. Both Kunal and Khanak were able to win their initial singles matches in 5 games over Tong and Nathan. Kagan, so far this match, Kunal still looks a little bit lethargic out there. He's kind of having to force himself to move. Doubles, you really have to move almost twice as much as in singles because you've got to set your partner up and get out of the way. We'll see if Team Maryland is able to take advantage of this and extend the team match to go into the 4th singles matchup.
Nice angles there.
If Tong would have been able to return that ball, they would have had 3-on-1 as Kunal was going around the side of the table. At that point, I'd suggest just grabbing him.
Even if Kunal is a little bit slow, they're still leading 8-6. And it's possible Khanak can move out of the way enough to compensate.
So now we got Nathan doing a little bit of defensive chopping, but that was completely due to the ball catching the net, really losing any forward velocity. And world champions, 1 game closer to earning a spot in the Junior Boys Team Final here in Las Vegas.
One thing we can see in doubles here as spectators is the service signal. Sean, would you say that the majority of pairs use the same signals?
You know, I really think it depends on who you played with your first time, because that generally is what you start accustomed to, where whether it's the server making the call or the partner of the server, which I think makes a lot more sense.
I agree.
Because you need to get a ball that you're looking for, and if your partner who's serving is just randomly thinking, well, how do I make them miss the serve, that might put you at a slight disadvantage, whereas the partner of the server, whether it's an underspin call or a topspin call, one thing that you do have to let your partner know is if you ever serve it deep, because they need to be ready for an offensive return. So we have seen internationally over the past 5 or 10 years where the partner of the server will be a little bit more proactive in calling the serve. But just like volleyball or some other sports where you have teammates, you will see a little signal. One thing interesting Kagan I've started to see on a couple teams is on the serve receive, they'll actually signal to their partner as well, letting them know whether they're going to go with a safe return or maybe a more aggressive one.
I saw that from China a few years ago, and I have not seen it from the European pairs yet. Have they adopted it?
There's a little bit, it's a little scary when you do that because you don't know what serve's coming at you. So if you tell your teammate I'm going on a short return, and all of a sudden they serve a half-long ball, you have to loop it, but you've already signaled to your partner that you're expecting a short one, so that can kind of put them off kilter a little bit. But Chinese can do so much of everything that even if you go out of sequence.
That's a service fault. First bounce was on the left side of the table. It's actually a fairly common mistake because the server is so focused on getting on the opposite side correct.
You see Nathan change that forehand serve over to a backhand to guarantee that that didn't occur again. But again, good eyes from Ken Potts. Being up in the chair is a much easier angle to see that ball just to the left of the center line on the server side. Kunal very strong with the short game, but I really haven't seen him be that offensive minded. Really seems to just be focusing on placement and keeping the ball on the table, letting his younger and smaller teammate do a little bit of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, you would expect it to be reversed for Khanak to be the setup man in this pairing.
I think Team Maryland's been a little too careful on their serve returns, trying to make the perfect return instead of getting into the rally. A little bit of extra perspiration on the corner of the table. Looks like it could be more glare and just the table has been overused in that area. Does appear to shine a little bit. Not a great time to be missing your serve, but after you've been called for serving on the wrong side of the line. Tong got away with a big one that time. He was far over on the right-hand side while the opponent was about to hit the ball. Got to keep moving your feet in doubles. Don't stand still and watch. It's a nice placement winner by Nathan. Kunal took a lot of underspin off that ball and just kind of pushed it forward, not necessarily dead, but without the same amount of spin, forcing Nathan to just lift it off the end. Maryland saving another match point, or game point. Kagan, right now it looks like all the players are a little bit tired out there. It seems like there's no positive energy. Both Kunal and Khanak, obviously coming back from India, have a reason for it, but Tong and Nathan, it seems like they should be out there getting themselves a little bit more energized. This match, although it's 2-0, in team matches anything can happen, especially when you win a doubles match.
Well, this is somewhat a grueling tournament to participate in, not just this team competition, but the team trials may be their most important competition of the year. And I think a player could be excused for focusing more on that competition than this.
I think that's a great point, where all these young players know that the opportunities that will be presented by making the cadets and the junior teams to represent the U.S. internationally is where they're going to get the most kind of bang for their buck or their energy level. They've had the first early rounds over the last day and a half, but I know the coaches are very aware of the benefit of winning the junior team boys and girls titles.
Maryland seems to have a bit of problem controlling the angle, the positional angle. They seem to be caught off, wrong-footed, too often here. There, Tong's back in nowhere land, guessing where the ball is going to go. Lucky to get the point there.
Again, right now it seems if Maryland could just put the ball over the net and into play instead of trying to make that perfect return that's either too high or right in the net. Now we've got some chopping going on from the backcourt.
I love to see the chopping. Maybe not from these players, though.
Again, very smart play by Khanak, just getting that first heavy top spin in, not with a lot of pace.
But I feel like the Maryland players are not really meshing together.
There's no communication between them, and it almost feels like they're battling the fact that they're down 0-2 in this team tie. But I think your point, Kagan, of what is the primary event that all four of these players are focused on here in Las Vegas, and that is the junior and cadet tryouts for the national team. That ball hitting the net post and kind of conking out.
Very well-angled flip there from Kunal.
Again, Khanak doing an excellent job of taking those pushes that are just coming off the end of the table and really spinning them up well. Not so much pace on his loop, but because there's so much top spin, if you don't move your feet to the ball, you have a difficult time returning them. Nice little backhand reloop from the backcourt by Khanak. A little bit of a surprise there with Khanak going for a deep serve.
And interestingly, both the server and his partner signaled that for that serve.
Now we have 3 match and tie points for the World Champions Table Tennis Academy to get to the finals. And Maryland has saved the first one. And there you have it. Kunal Chandra and Khanak Ja will be heading into the junior boys team final event. Won a very impressive 3-0 victory over Maryland Table Tennis Center's junior boys team with Tong and Nathan.